a lot of the comments I got were from people in the black community explaining how this is part of the culture. Now listen, I was smacked and hit as a kid. It was part of my upbringing too. So it's not like it hasn't happened to me. It has happened to me. If I can change anything in my life, that I definitely don't want. I'm 28 years of age. I still remember the wooden spoon being smacked across my hands. I remember turning to my dad and going, it doesn't hurt anymore. I'm used to it. Turn it over. I should have kept your mouth shut, Ian.
But that's what his brother's kind of responding to. Is he's like, you act like you were getting your ass beat by mom and dad, and like you weren't, and like you didn't show up to grandpa's funeral, and all these things.
Wow.
And all these things. So wait, we
clip
have
that,
to read
homies. Hey, clip that, homies. Clip that.
His brother's going off on him for not going to grandpa's funeral. I mean, we might as well kind of use that as a bridge to talk about Ian Garry, huh?
That he wants women to run the world?
Yeah.
She's my earth angel. She is my earth angel. She is the person who, when I need guidance, I go to her. And I feel like any smart man in the world should look at his wife and know that that's the person I need to listen to. Like, if the world was run by women, we'd all live in a better world. Like, it would all be simpler and easier. That's the fact of the matter, whether you want to agree with it or not, or you think whatever it is. If women ruled the world and we just listened to them and let them take over, it would be an easier world.
I don't know, man. You got any opinions on it? Maybe you can kind of.
It's funny how it's funny how he got roasted. Roasted in the comments, bro. Like, they were on him. We could just go over through the comments and just laugh all day. Like, that is the things he's getting is just wild.
Yeah, I don't want to get too misogynistic about it, you know, but
Yeah.
like I mean, am I like, is it just me, or like, you know, shout out to the women. I love the women, right? I love my women out there. All right. But like, bro, a lot of my problems, like, in life, like not a real problem, but these problems that get brought into my life that I wish didn't happen, and like that shouldn't exist. Like, I mean, like,
Well, you know,
women
the thing
be
is,
bringing a lot of problems into my life
thing is-
that, like, I don't really, you know, I'm trying to say
He
it
went too
nicely.
he went too extreme, right? And so
Yeah.
this like lines up with just Ian Garry in general, right? It's so funny to me, bro. Like 2 years ago, almost going on 3 years, like how that came out about him and his girl, and she wrote the book, and like how he, like, you know, she grabbed him, and they have this personal chef now. All these, isn't her ex-husband now lives, all these things, right? Like, and then that fight got canceled. He took down all his like comments, like no one could comment him anymore. Like, he really was being roasted. And now you kind of going, now years later, you're about to fight your championship fight, and then you go and say this. So of course they're gonna get on him.
He always reminds us why we didn't fuck with him every time he hops on that fucking camera.
I don't think he's gonna beat Islam.
I mean, I kind of like, I'm holding out hope. I'm not too emotionally invested. I wouldn't mind if he does by any means. But Ian also said he's like, he said he's so in touch with, he says he cries while he watches Disney movies, and that he's so in touch with his feminine side that it actually makes him more masculine.
I cry watching Disney films. I am so in touch with my feminine side that I feel like I'm more masculine because of it. And I don't care what people think about me.
I would just say that Ian needs to, like, I think he listens to his girl too much. I'm not going to say, oh, like, all these things, but I think he listens to his girl a little bit too much.
I know what you're saying. I'm following your path. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she fucking yaps, and then he's like, yeah.
Yes,
like,
babe.
Yeah. Like,
yes, babe. Yes,
it's
babe.
like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, you don't have to believe it. You could just say yeah to shut her up every now and then, but you're like repeating her fucking rhetoric, which is crazy to me. But
right.
I mean, also, okay, so let's talk about the juice, because that is some juice, but there's more juice. Ian's fucking family and shit. So you must not, I'm assuming you didn't watch the full podcast.
No.
I watched the full podcast. I was looking at the comments. And Ian, so he had spoken about his family and his mom. It's multiple parts. I think they actually cut out part of him dissing his family. On top of that, they deleted comments because his brother was responding. And so in the comment section, you'll see like this is the
His
third.
brother was in the comments.
His brother's in the comments. So let me give
That's
you the full context
wild.
because nobody's really talking about this. They're all talking about Ian being a cuck.
On YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. If you look at the original interview, it's in the comment section. And his brother's comment has been reposted and it's been left up. And if not, I have it, so I'll read it to you. But there's two parts. Is Ian speaks about how his mom. Well, Ian was also crazy. He had never trained before, and he told his mom he's going to become the next Conor McGregor and wants to drop out of college. So, rightfully so, she was kind of like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not going to do that and all this other goofy shit. And then he kind of like he just rebelled and pissed off his mom. So it gave him a rocky relationship. And now he feels like, oh, I am the next Conor McGregor. He's like, fuck you for not believing in me. But it's like, bro, you hadn't even trained. Like maybe like if you had trained or something and she still didn't believe in you, like, okay, I'll see your side of it a little bit, but you hadn't even fucking trained and you want to drop out of college. Like one step before the other, buddy. Why don't you sign up at a gym and then you could drop out of college? So anyway, he's just speaking about his rocky relationship with his mom. They don't really get along too well, right?
My mom was only doing what she believed to be correct as a mother. And I cannot fault her for doing what she did.
Which was?
Telling me that being the next Conor McGregor is not a fucking plan. Wrote down on words on a piece of paper. I was in college. I only went to college to please my mom. She said, Ian, please go to college. Like, your sister didn't go. I don't know if your brother's going to go. I was the middle child. Can you please go? Because I want you to go to college. I decided on my own that I was going to quit college. I didn't ask for anybody else's opinion. I was going to drop out. I didn't ask for anybody else's opinion because it was nobody else's decision to make. So I'm sat at home. Keep in mind now, very pivotal point of the story. I had never trained MMA. I wanted to. I kept talking about it, but I'd never done it. So I quit college and I went and I joined the gym. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I started cleaning windows and I started training. And then one day my mom comes in and goes, get up out of it. You're meant to be in college. I was like, about that. And I was like, I dropped out of college. And she was like, you what? And I was like, she stormed out of the room. She literally slid 3 A4 pages under my door. And I remember I read them all. And I was like, she was like, you never finish anything. You always say you're going to do things, but you quit, you drop out, you never follow through, yada, yada, yada. In that letter that she wrote me, the word for word, in quotation marks, being the next Conor McGregor is not a fucking plan. I made my UFC debut at MSG when I was 23. And that letter got blasted everywhere.
Was your mum there?
No, she couldn't fly because it was COVID, and I was so happy because of it.
Why?
Because I was like, you know what? You fucking guys didn't show up when you needed to and give me the love and the support, so you shouldn't be there before for the oh, that's my boy. It's like, no, like you can be, that's my boy behind the scenes when it matters, not when, oh yeah, there's the flag. No.
But like you say, your mum was just scared for you.
Like, it doesn't matter though. You can be scared for me and support me.
And then he was speaking about Neil Magny and the backlash he received for going in on him for the comments about like, I'm gonna beat Ian Garry like I whooped my son, right? And Ian's like, bro, I've been hit before. I've received lashings and whoopings and blah blah blah.
So I fought a guy called Neil Magny. Now Neil Magny his nickname is the Haitian Sensation, and he is a black man in America, right? That's important to the story because I believe a lot of the comments I got were from people in the black community explaining how this is part of the culture. Now listen, I was smacked and hit as a kid. It was part of my upbringing too. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of the older people in England and Ireland it was a part of their lifestyle too. Whippings and things at school were still a thing. So it's not like it hasn't happened to me. It has happened to me. If I can change anything in my life, I definitely don't want. I'm 28 years of age. I still remember the wooden spoon being smacked across my hands. I remember turning to my dad and going, it doesn't hurt anymore. I'm used to it. Turn it over. Should have kept your mouth shut, Ian. I feel like what we learn from our generation, we need to make changes to be better.
And I actually didn't read his brother's full comment, so I will right now. But that's what his brother's kind of responding to. Is he's like, you act like you were getting your ass beat by mom and dad, and like you weren't, and like you didn't show up to grandpa's funeral, and all these things.
Wow.
And all these things. So wait, we
Clip
have
that,
to read
homies.
it.
Hey, clip that, homies. Clip that.
His brother's going off on him for not going to grandpa's funeral.
Oh man, that's kind of messed up though.
I mean, shit. So should we read it?
Yeah.
Sean Garry, 6081. Sean Garry 6081. Shit, we know his bank pin. 6081. Anyway, Sean Garry says, Ian, you're not a victim. You act like we were beaten as kids. We grew up in a middle-class house and had everything we wanted. You're the type of guy to take money off his parents and never pay them back. I think the word is entitled. We had everything a child could need. Oh no, you got paid to go to college and your mother was stressed. You got flown all over the world with boxing, yet you talk about them not supporting you. Dad personally got involved in your boxing the whole time, even when he was sick and in chronic pain. Do me a favor and explain that one, Ian. We attended every one of your fights and we always believed you could do it, but Layla, who met you when you were only a few fights away from the UFC, is suddenly the one who had faith? Question mark. No way, really. You were already there. You're an avoidant person like me, but I've grown up emotionally unlike you. You hide from negativity because you can't cope with the reality of your own actions. Missing your granddad's funeral, was that a real man thing to do? Not even a text, lad. I'm missing something here. Quote unquote, world run by Layla, more like. Funny, before you met her, you talked about family very differently, or were you still too immature at 21? Funny that. Do me a favor, Ian. I've been so quiet about your situation because I still feel bad for you. But if you think about spreading this bullshit again, But if you even think about spreading this bullshit again, I'll make the full truth clear in its entirety, and that's a promise. Quote unquote, wait 10 years, ha ha ha. You do realize we will not be waiting for you in 10 years' time? I want you to think about that. My patience with you, Ian, has worn thin. I do hope you mature one day, Ian, but I'm going to be honest. I will not be waiting 10 years for you to grow up and admit your fault. Delete count 4. Wait, delete count 4, delete count 4, meaning like they've deleted the comment 3 times. This is 4th time writing it. So he says, delete count 4. Talk about controlling the narrative. Delete it again, and I'm not going to hold back. So then they left it up. Delete it again, and I'm not going to hold back is crazy. You to go to Grandpa's funeral is crazy. By the way,
you gotta respond to him like, hey, jump on the pod.
Yeah, we should, huh? Sean Garry. I think we should interview Sean.
Yeah, bro. That would be a crazy interview.
Yeah, we're going to have to reach out to Sean Garry, 6081. You know, he even said that he was paid to go to college. His parents gave him money to go to college.
Well,
that
it
is
was
some
funny.
rich kid shit.
It's funny. I hear this, and I'm like, okay, how do I know that's his brother, right?
In the comments, they're all validating it. It's got to be.
Well,
somebody would have said it wasn't.
Well, 2, I mean, because it could just be an account, right? But 2, he did say a lot of deeper stuff in there. That like, okay, who would only know this information?
Dad was sick and in chronic pain. Mom and dad paid for you to go to college. You're an avoidant person.
And if it isn't his brother, that's the biggest troll of 2026.
That was some crazy shit. No, if it wasn't his brother, though, it's as easy as saying, who the fuck is this?
Right.
Who the fuck is this? This isn't Ian's brother. This is a lie, and it could have been validated easily. The fact that it's been deleted, there's an episode, there's part of the podcast that's cut out. If you watch it, there's a cut when he speaks about his family. I think Layla separated him from his family. I think his love for her, I think that she kind of like, the way she talks, I think she kind of separated him and shit like that. Like, you know, you don't need them. I mean, it's typical cult like shit, but it's like, you don't need your parents, you know, they're holding you back, blah, blah, blah.
It's funny. Me and my brother were talking about this. It's so funny too. Like when my mom was alive, I used to tell her when we moved out of the house, like I basically we already moved in with my ex-wife at the time, right? Bro, I didn't talk to the family at all.
Mm.
Like only when I needed to stop by and like get something, you know what I mean? Like, or if I was down the street from the house, right? Like you just get separated and you start building this life with this person. And that's to say that she was like trying to pin me against my parents. That's a different story, right? That's a whole different story of trying to pin someone against your other family. And then you get consumed with like oh, okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be so close with them.
Mm-hmm. And that usually happens with words they say behind the scenes. Are they kind of like, being positive about your family or being
But
negative about your family?
and when there's money involved,
Mm.
add money into that power, money or power. You add that to the equation to the new girl that came.
Mm.
Like whoa, and the family's like, hold on, like who are you really dating here? And in some families won't. You ever see a Succession
No.
on HBO?
Mm-mm.
Well, it's basically kind of based around the Fox Empire, Fox News. And one of the sons starts dating this girl that's in theater, and the dad's like, "This is cute, but she'll never be in this circle."
Mm.
Because you start thinking like, why? What does she want?
Mm-hmm.
In this instance with Layla,
She wants
knowing,
Ian and all of his riches to
you know,
herself.
I don't, I don't know.
You're saying that could be.
I
It
mean,
could be.
with him not now having, I didn't know he didn't have a relationship with his family. I had no idea, and he seems very family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
From the outside looking in, the image that he portrays is family. To leave your home, your motherland, and to go down to Brazil, and now I don't think he's Irish anymore.
Yeah,
I think he's Brazilian.
he's Brazilian.
Right. So I mean, it's his whole identity is changed.
Yeah, Ireland doesn't claim him. So he has a weird way of kind of like operating, I would say.
He does.
He has a
He
weird way of
does.
operating. Disowns his family, doesn't really, leaves Ireland to the point where like the Irish fans don't fully claim him anymore. Drops out
Well,
of
because
college before even training MMA is kind of an odd one to me too.
Well, and that I can see that, right? There's plenty of people that have gone to college and said, "Hey, my passion is here now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go chase this dream now." There's a million
It's just
people
crazy
that
that
does
he
that.
never tried it. I guess he's just very ballsy. So I'll let it be.
Sure,
It's a super ballsy move though.
Right, and crazier things have happened.
You
and
need that
so,
delusional confidence though. So maybe that's the same thing that attributes to his success today.
And you see the success of Connor, you kind of want to go like, you start dreaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start dreaming like, oh man, this is what I really want to do.
I'm going
Anyway,
all in.
I'm going all in. You know this, when you get obsessed over something,
Mm-hmm.
it could be like being social media, doing podcasting, like you are just doom, laser focused. Like this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do. You just consume
and
it.
everything else is like, fuck, it's taken away from me. If I wasn't doing this, I could be doing what I really want to do. So I get it. I get it for sure.
I get that too. But I didn't realize him. Now he's saying where his relationship is with his mom. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
If the comments are true about what his brother is saying, we didn't know that either. And then you add on top of it what we see from the outside looking in of how Layla's fingerprints are all over this product.
And she's a lot older than him, mind you.
Right.
She's also got him to like here's what I mean by he listens to her too much. I feel like you have something you want to say though.
No, I was gonna say too, and we all know guys where like you start getting some pee and you're like not with the homies anymore, right? Like super sprung. Like he got super sprung. I mean, the evidence kind of shows that.
But I want to break it down in a almost like a more like real dived in context here, and then we can maybe move on because I don't know how much deeper we can get on it. But here's what I'll say about it. It's like, okay, so she's older than him, right? And so with her being older than him, there's a lot of the things where I think she talks to him from like an experienced standpoint, because it was in the podcast too where she'll be like, he was saying like my wife told me, when I buy a house, I'll feel more like this, right?
Mhm.
And then he's like, when I bought the house, you know, she was right. I felt more like this. And I feel like he listens to that every step of the way. Like she always tells him how he should be, and he always listens to it, and he doesn't go against it. Because like, think about it like this. He also is living with, or at one point in time, you know, the husband, the father of her other child was living with them. He hired him as the nutritionist, you know? And like, what am I trying to say? He did that, right? And then in this podcast,
Most guys wouldn't do that.
most guys wouldn't do that. But then in this podcast, he's saying a real man is somebody who could take care of like the woman's children and like, you know, love the woman and like all this stuff like unconditionally. And I feel like that's that brainwashing shit she does to him, where it's like Ian, you're not a real man if you don't let the father of my children stay with us. What are you, insecure? You're insecure, Ian. You're not a real man. A real man would never turn away and make his girl, you know, not be there with his children. You know, and I feel like Ian like buys into this and he takes it, and like now he's fucking stuck with Layla. But like imagine this type of rhetoric happening when he's going through battles with his family and shit like that, and his family's talking shit on him and she wants something from him. I think she's very manipulative. I think she questions his manhood to get him to do things and like psyops it. Like,
How-
Ian, you're not a real man. You're probably you're insecure. Only an insecure man would let that get in
Well,
their way.
And think about the psychology of this. Honestly, I don't know how old he was when he met her.
Say that again.
Do you know how old he was when
Early
when
ass
he-
20s, and his mom was
Okay.
already kind of like that relationship was kind of fucked.
So very impressionable,
Yeah.
right? So there's something to be said, like especially like when a 20-year-old meets a 30-year-old, either sex, man or woman or man, right? You're more impressionable, right? And that's why, like pimping, for example, I don't mean to take it so drastic, but you know, they're brainwashing them at a very young age because they're impressionable to do what they want.
It's
Right.
to make it simple for you, it's the same thing that men, that's part of intrinsically or subconsciously. It's why men they won't really always admit it, but it is why men are attracted to younger women, because they're moldable.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Their life experience is lesser, easier to mold versus somebody who's got this steadfast experience and they're set in their morals. You now versus 20-year-old you. You got bases now that you're not coming off of, that you might have came off of when you were in your 20s.
100%.
And that goes with both sexes. So I'm just saying, the same shit you're saying about Layla is what that's why men like younger women.
And we're not even adding in there the emotional intelligence that he had at that age. You're having problems with your mom, right?
Mhm.
So there's things that you can manipulate, was a word that you said earlier, at that age with someone that kind of knows what they're doing. That's the other thing too. When someone knows what they're doing and how to pull the strings,
Feed
and then
into
they
it, tell him what he wants to hear
Right.
about his mom.
and not only that, like, I'm here for you.
Right.
And then, you know, add sex to that.
hmm
You know, like, you know, just sprung.
Then bond over sex right after that.
Oh, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like you're think that you are in a vortex of just, you know, whatever you want. Whatever you want.
hmm
And then now you're filling in for the almost the emotional attachment that you would have had with your mother. You kind of applying that over to this new woman,
Yeah.
you know, because you're emotionally fragile. You know, and to me, I don't know. A lot of signs are pointing that direction.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with you,
Who am I?
but shit.
What are the homies in the chat saying?
We don't know for sure, right? We don't know for sure.
Put that in a poll.
But no, I do think that's kind of, I do think that she has kind of, you know, he was fallen, you know, and and she caught him with open arms.
Yeah.
You know, and she told him all the things he wanted to hear. And come on, bro, she wrote a book, Wife and Girlfriend, you know, how to be a wag. Like to act like she doesn't have manipulation within her. If she didn't, you know, why would she write a book saying you need to do this and that to attract a pro athlete? I mean, shit, she knows how to attract them, right? Enough to write a book about it. I'm sure she also knows to some degree, to a science, how to keep them. That's one thing too that hasn't been mentioned about her. You know, she knew how to get them. Shit, she wrote a book about that though. I'm sure she knows, she got it down to a science too, how to keep them, because she has men down to a science. You know, it's not really emotional to her. It's like how to play off of these high percentage opportunities to get men. Men on a, you know, higher percentile, like women with a big butt, I'm gonna get a big butt. Right? Men on a higher percentile go for this type of woman. I'm a be that. You know, she's playing it by the numbers, real strategic. It's not like super authentic and off the love.
It's funny. We were talking about two relationships, right? Max and what's homegirl's name? Layla?
Yeah. Max and Alessa, Ian and
Alessa.
Layla.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I mean, it's more sounds like Max, you know, fell in love.
Right.
In this situation, it kind of sounds like someone was taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Emotionally, physically, mentally. I don't know.
At least it could have been. At least it could have been, right?
You know, just there's just too many signs over here that I to me my spidey senses go up.
Right. And then that's why I was actually defending Max's girl though, when I was like, bro, you guys are throwing her in that boat. Like, come on, she's not that bad. Like, you guys are throwing her in Ian Garry's wife's boat all of a sudden, because that's what people say about Ian Garry's wife. They're like, she doesn't like him. You know, she likes what he has and what he brings to the table. She was a predator towards him. You know, she like went and sought him out. And so that's why I'm like, guys, we cannot be putting Alessa in this boat. That's why it's like, that's why I was kind of like gaslighting, being like, bro, you guys don't get no puss or what? How the fuck do you not see the difference here? Like, you should know. It's dangerous though, right? As a man, I feel like we need to know whether or not a woman likes us or not. We need to be able to tell. And these guys,
what our real motives are.
yeah, but all the boys who've been fucking commenting online, you guys need to know, you know, which one likes their mans and which one doesn't. Alessa likes her mans, you know.
Believe me,
Whatever her name
believe
is, maybe not.
you me like any homies. Ooh, I've seen some real ones. I've seen dudes set up like some crazy
But the
stuff.
funny thing
where I'm
is
like,
you
wow.
can see it. I mean, in my opinion, maybe I mean, you know, I'm sure your experience with women, but like, can you see it? Like, I can see the manipulation from like miles away.
And a part of me doesn't like want to believe it. You know, like I don't want to believe that she would do that to him, but time will tell.
Time will
That's
tell.
for sure.
Yeah, we'll
That's
see.
for sure.
We'll see. When he's 50, let's see if she goes further, if she leaves him for the jiu-jitsu instructor, because something tells me she might. You know, that type of thing. You secure the money.
Here's the thing.
Now that money don't matter. Now you're gonna get the guy you really want.
Let's just say this. He loses to Islam, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he loses to like Michael Morales. And now you're back in the top 5, top 10. Then let's see where we're at.
Mm-hmm.